Hello, I am Alistair Pugin.
And I'm not Daniel Plan.
I'm not Megan Strand.
I'm not Rebecca Jackson.
And that was funny to us and probably nobody else.
Together.
So what are we talking about now? Again, we're talking about all this drama stuff. Megan, lead us in, or somebody else lead us.
Okay, so I think there has been so much noise in the last week or two about tips around working from home, showing your desk setup, how can working from home work better? And in this community, it feels like it's been an onslaught. So what we actually wanted to talk about was we are not going to give you advice around working from home, but what could be an alternative to focus on right now instead of all of that noise?
Not us.
Yes. So don't listen to us. Don't listen to our advice. But
end the video now. Stop.
No, Daryl had the great hashtag know something, share something, which I thought was a great idea and got involved last week at some stage. And even the hashtags, pay it forward. These two approaches I think are great right now to not focus on the masses or the corporate knowledge workers who have shifted to working from home. But what else could we focus on? Anybody?
Let's focus on the people who aren't working from home. So it occurred to me very recently, because I work in an organisation where people are still working from the office, and my husband is actually still working from the office. Some people aren't in a position where they can work from home because they're required to be there, and I was starting to see that those people were quite quiet. And when I started to have a chat with them, it's like, well, everybody's working from home and enjoying their quarantinis and having a lie-in and stuff, which is not always the case. But there are people in offices who are legitimately, there's one or two people on site. They're not allowed to be around each other. They have to stay behind glass. They may or may not have contact with customers. So have a think about, if you know people who are still working from an office, how can you help them to stay connected, and how can you use your skills from a technology perspective to make sure that their life isn't sucking right now.
Yes,
absolutely. And I think also, how can we as technology professionals help those around us? And not just because I live in the world of Office 365 and Teams, therefore how can I help organizations with Teams? No, you know what? I know how to set monitors up and what kind of speakers people should have, or other bits and pieces, or networking gear. Like our neighbors the other day were lamenting about the fact they can't print paper properly, and so they got someone coming around to fix it. Now, not a huge deal, but I told them, hey, did you know you can actually put your signature on a PDF on the computer without having to print it out and scan it in? They're in their 60s, they're like, oh, fantastic. There we go. I've saved them having a call out of a IT technician, or just being stuck where they can't print. So we've got a lot of skills that we probably don't realize that we do have, because they're innate to us. They're something we've had for our entire careers, most of our adult lives. So we've got a whole bunch of skills outside of our job that we can actually offer to our neighbors and our friends. Not saying go around there and actually do things for them, but Megan put a post into our school group on Facebook saying, hey, look, we know Teams and Office 365, and a lot of the parents here are now going to potentially have to use this technology for the first time. So we can help you. Or and actually, if you need help with Alexa devices or those kind of things, we can help you.
And on that, I mean, that was a great example, because people started responding and saying, I hear we're going to have to teach our kids and get them to learn from home. Do we need to go out and buy Office 365 licenses? And that was really surfacing parents going, I don't know anything about tech. Oh, okay, we need to go buy accounts. And so obviously we jumped in and talked about, how the education sort of accounts work, and a few tips there, which was great. I personally have seen a lot of companies say, we want to rebuild the water cooler. So we want to allow our staff to actually stay connected. So, having a team space where people can jump in and just say, how are you going, and things like that. What about you, Daryl? Lorian talked a lot and didn't let you have a turn, and so have I. So any thoughts?
I'm sorry, who was just talking then?
Ooh. I think there's tons of ideas that are coming out of community as they're talking together, and we've found a rhythm as regarding 365 to be able to catch up, to talk about what we're hearing, what we're seeing, and we're inspiring each other. So that's our rhythm. We're doing that on a call. We've kind of got a virtual office space going in our tenant that we share together, to just jump in and jump on that video call if someone's there. I think the know something show something concept is that it's not going to be perfect in the way that you share it. But if you're inspired to do something because of someone's story and someone's need, then get it out there. If it means that you're going to draw something on the screen, or you're going to point your camera from your phone at your screen while you're doing something, then do that. Because, and keep it short, but share it. You know something, so get out there and do it. And I'm glad you guys also brought up that it's not just about tech. It is also about these people that don't know how to feed themselves. And the first thing they grabbed off the shelf was mince. And they go, well, I don't really know how to cook this. I don't know what to do with pasta and throwing something together with mushrooms and onions. How do I do this? If you know how to point a camera at the way that you cook, then record that. Show someone how to feed themselves.
Yeah, and even for kids as well, if you have ideas around, I saw, for example, whether it be that you make a whole video on how to code or do something with your kids, or whether it be someone shared a resource yesterday with me that was some printouts, but it was actually each section to color. You had to do a little equation to work out what that equaled to work out the color. So even stuff on how to keep kids occupied, share apps, share ideas. And if all those people at home who are struggling because they're trying to entertain their kids as well as somehow get work done. I really look forward to Lorian wandering the community, knocking on people's doors saying, hey, how's your Wi-Fi? How's your Alexa device? Can I teach you anything?
Yeah. I like the point on kids though, because
I'm allowed out to do that.
Yeah, because you're allowed out. He's not allowed out ever. We don't have children. We've got a little bunny rabbit, but I have lots of little cousins and nieces and nephews. And I've reached out to my sisters and sisters-in-law, etc., to go, hey, if you're having a tough time with the kids, throw them at me digitally. So I'll sit and chat with the kids and they, on Snapchat or whatever.
Virtual nanny,
right? And it could be just keeping the kids amused, read them a story, or do a Netflix party with them, or something like that.
That's a great idea. I love that idea of using tech to share the load. I know our kids have a 3:00 meeting every afternoon this week, just because that worked with Lorian's calendar. And he's already set up Teams calls every day with certain other parents who work from home and use Teams. So our kids can just connect. They spend half an hour or something this afternoon on a Teams call, in the playroom, talking to their friend who they never see.
The conversation was painful.
It was ridiculous. Look at my socks.
Walk away.
I look forward to the girls demoing at Ignite this year. Seriously.
If we're allowed to go.
Yeah.
Virtual.
So I think our core message is really just reach out to people. I love your hashtag, Daryl, know something, share something, and anything. If it is showing someone how to jump on their mobile and do some sort of briefing on a live event, or record something so they can pay it forward and pass it on. But look for the people, I think, who need support, and reach out to those that maybe are struggling, that aren't as dominating and visible right now in all the noise.
And I think on that, probably the last point is maybe we can actually stop sharing our photos of our desktops. And I say that as a person who has shared a photo of their desk, because there's a lot of people who don't have the luxury to have great desk setups, who have to work at the dining table of their 1-bedroom apartment while their 3-month-old screams because they're hungry, and they won't latch on, or they're not interested in the bottle right now. Or while their kid runs around because they've got too much energy. So I think that while we have the benefit of these great setups and the luxury to be able to just nip down to the store and get a sit-stand desk and a second monitor, a lot of people aren't as fortunate to have that. So we kind of need to not so much shove it in their face, which we haven't directly been doing, but I think we need to think about that we're quite fortunate. And so let's focus on how do we help other people instead of just saying, check out my desk, it's Instagram worthy.
All right.
You've
so
shamed
get out
me,
there
Lorian.
and sharing.
I'm gonna turn off my filter now, because that's just bad.
Oh, Daryl, I'm sorry.
So
What a negative.
my studio setup includes an ironing board and a lamp. So
Lorian Strand brought down Daryl is always so positive
Wow.
and happy. You have just collapsed and brought down Daryl Webster in 2 minutes.